applause for the Reverend Pat D.
Woo! Taking yourself? Are you a reverend, for real?
I'm a philosopher.
Ah.
I have a lot of interesting, thought-provoking ideas that are very unique. Have you never heard me before?
No.
Well, you're in for a treat. All right. I'm going to start by singing a song. I'm working at my job, I'm so happy. More boring by the day, but they pay me. With that in mind, what do you want to be when you grow up? As that is an indoctrination that they use in the schools, and along with other, stupid, weak-minded people, as a way to indoctrinate kids into believing that going into work every day is actually something to look forward to. But I discovered that it was nothing more than a total nightmare of fucking shit. I never once heard anyone mention they wanted to work at McDonald's or Walmart and getting nickeled and dimed. I never heard anyone mention that they wanted to become prostitutes, but prostitutes make good money and the only thing they have to do is get fucked. I wonder, what would happen if some guy had just paid a whole lot of money so he could fuck her, and as she is taking off her clothes, he happens to notice that she's got skid marks and shit stains on her underpants. And what would happen if he asked for his money back? Furthermore, would a pair of underpants with skid marks and shit stains on it smell nicer if they were purchased at Victoria's Secret? With that in mind, I am glad that I have Asperger's syndrome because I really enjoy thinking about things like that. But I never heard anyone mention that they wanted to become, a pimp when they grew up, but I did meet a couple of people who told me that they wanted to become drug pushers when they grew up. Thanks to having unsupported parents, my hopes of becoming an astronomer or a weatherman went down the toilet because they thought that I was mentally ill, and even though it was only Asperger's. And if I had supportive parents, I would have been able to have gotten into the right colleges, but even with that, things would have ended up turning to shit when the technicalities of my special interests, along with being taught at too much of a fast pace, would have flushed my hope dreams down the toilet anyway. And even if I got to become a weatherman, I would put up pictures of turds along with images of Satan in front of the sun during the summer on days when the weather is too fucking hot out. And I would have mentioned right on the air that it was too fucking hot out, which means that my job wouldn't have lasted very long because most TV viewers are a bunch of uptight sacks of shit anyway. Then there is Temple Grandin, who is on the autism spectrum, who is supposed to help kids with autism achieve success, but from what I heard and found out about her, is she interested what I want to know, is she interested in helping kids with autism become successful, or is she a fucking cunt? Well, from what I suspect the latter. Temple Grandin did a speech called The Importance of Giving Kids with Autism a 50s Upbringing, and as soon as I found out about that, a major red flag popped up. Temple Grandin says most parents these days are not teaching kids basic job skills, which is not about the unique gifts and talents that they have, but it's about kissing ass to criminal money-grubbing corporate scumfucks. She goes on to say, I'm seeing more and more kids, a lot less severe than I am, graduating college without any job skills, and they end up living on Social Security. Maybe Temple Grandin should do something more useful and speak out against these greedy, money-grubbing scumfuck schools that are ripping people off by putting them hundreds and thousands of dollars in debt without any fucking job when they get out because they are fucking liars. Well, I have found out some good news. If a person is diagnosed with a disability that is severe enough, they don't have to pay back their student loan. This is costing major colleges and universities millions in lost profits. Fuck them. Then Temple Grandin's 50s upbringing speech, he mentions that it's more important for kids to do things to please other people. Fuck other people. Most of them don't deserve to be pleased. She also brings up manners, like saying please and thank you. And I once needed a ride from someone to go to a social function, and this person told me that he wasn't going to give me a ride anymore because I didn't say thank you the previous time that he had given me a ride. So he decided to fuck me and fuck me permanently for that. He told me that I need to learn some manners. Oh, really? This person insulted me about how I look in front of other people. He told me that I was eating too much at a party. Once again, another fucking hypocrite who has the audacity to tell me that I need to learn some manners. I am hoping that, since I have last seen this person, I am hoping that a man has fucked him in the ass without a condom and has given him AIDS. People with autism don't need to say thank you because they know how to do it telepathically. But most people are too fucking stupid to realize that. And which is a reminder that if you do something nice for me and I forget to say thank you, I did it telepathically. My cat has Asperger's syndrome, but he never says thank you when I fill up his bowl of food. What am I supposed to do? Stop feeding the cat? That'll show him. Temple Grandin says that being eccentric is okay, but rude and dirty is not okay. I agree with her on the rude part because so many people have been rude to me, including neurotypical scumfuck hypocrites who tell me that I need to learn manners. As for being dirty, I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about. It could have some, I don't know if it could mean having bad hygiene, or it could mean crude sexual humor, or both. I get a feeling that she means crude sexual humor. Now, should Temple Grandin be entitled to her opinion? Sure, but she should be required to wear a uniform with swastikas on it while she's expressing it. And she should paint a swastika on her forehead. Then that way she will look like Charles Manson in drag. Charles Manson is fucking beautiful. And Temple Grandin's right-wing extremist viewpoints have nothing to do to help me find and keep a job. And when I was living in Florida, I found out that Publix was opening up a new warehouse in Deerfield Beach, and they were hiring. This is very exciting because this is the very first time that I ever got to talk about Publix. If you have never heard of Publix, it is a major grocery store chain in the South, and their slogan is "Where shopping is a pleasure." And since I left Florida, Publix now has a pharmacy in most of their stores, and I wonder if Publix sells their own store brand of condoms. And if they do, their slogan should be, "Where screwing is a pleasure." I was told that once I got a job at the Publix warehouse, I would become rich and I would be happy and my life wouldn't suck anymore. Well, I never got the job, and my life still sucks. Now, I don't consider Temple Grandin to be my friend. She is gung-ho about shoving conformity and control over people with autism and not freedom. And another thing that pisses me off from her talking about people with autism needing to learn manners and blah, 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 blah. She never really talked about neurotypical kids who really need to learn the manners, like the bullies. A parent once asked Abraham Hicks, how can I get... Oh, I have more respect for Abraham Hicks than I do Temple Grandin. A parent once asked Abraham Hicks, how can I get my autistic child to behave better? And her answer was, leave him alone. My parents tried to bring me a 50s upbringing, and look how I turned out. Any questions? I give Temple Grandin credit for wanting kids with autism to be more independent, overcoming learning disabilities, but when I was in special ed, I made a huge amount of progress with academic skills, but then they tried to shove their conformity bullshit down my fucking throat, which caused everything to go down the toilet. When I was young, I was only eccentric. Then people try to shove their conformist bullshit down my throat, which has caused me to turn into being pissed off, mean, and defiant. If people were nice to me, there's a good chance that I wouldn't be using so much vulgarity and profanity in my spoken words. But when I think about that, sometimes I'm glad that people treat me like shit. As this is my final spoken words before I go to Atlanta, but I got a performance coming up at a Balls Cabaret on Saturday, where my friend June talks through the cell phone. if the ice storm down there don't fuck things up.
You're going to be in Atlanta. You're going to be in Atlanta.
End of this month and early March.
Oh, really?
I am coming back.
He lives there. Find
Yeah, I
him.
live in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm flying back on Thursday.
Oh.
Hopefully, if the storm doesn't stop me, but yeah. We're going to be at what area?
Sandy Spring.
Oh, okay, north side. Okay. Yeah,
Have you been to Java Monkey?
I have. I just moved there. So I live in Midtown.
You're gonna go next.
Oh, okay.
But go, I can talk to you back. I get it.
It's pretty small world.
Small world. Java Monkey is the only open mic I know about.
Okay. That's in Sandy Springs area?
That's in Decatur.
Okay.
A lot of lesbians live in Decatur. They call it Decatur.
Excellent. So